I can trim it off, you see. I can trim off the beginning. Sorry. Hey, welcome to the 380th episode of the 365 Message Center show. And today, or whenever you are watching, which is likely to be today, we're going to be looking at, I have to start with this one, multiple emojis. If you want to react to a message, you can do it more than once. Well, let's react to that multiple times when we get to it. We'll be also able to set our work location based on where we are in the network, so I like that. The return of a good Skype for Business feature. I think we might have finally reached parity. And Copilot Pages will be referred to as a page. What? Okay, we'll talk about that. Let's get into it.
So you're saying a page will be a page?
Yeah.
Until they rename it again.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, no, I've got some questions about that, but we have pushed that one to the last message in the agenda, Daniel, because I think I'll be all tuckered out by then. Yes.
Tuckered.
Hello,
everyone. Episode 380, as Daryl mentioned at the top of the show. Thank you for being here, and thank you for interacting and giving us comments down below in the video. Yeah. Love to interact with you and answer each other's questions or give feedback or whatever. Get your feedback. We're human. We make mistakes. Well, at least I do. I don't know about Daryl.
It's gracious of you, mate. You know, usually it's you that don't make mistakes, and that I'm the one that's usually wrong. But
I very much am wrong most of the time and make mistakes. So if you would like to correct one of my mistakes, throw it down below. If you are listening on the podcast, thanks for listening and downloading. Hit us up on socials at 365MCS on all the socials that matter, and let us know what you think about that.
Daniel, I've noticed that another social has got on the socials that matter list. At least I've noticed you've joined that platform.
I have, or the show has?
No, you have.
Oh, what have I joined?
Blue Sky?
Yeah, I joined just because some people are over there. Although I will say, no, I won't say that. I'll make a bunch of people mad. But I'm not there regularly. Let's just say that way. I
know it. You didn't even answer my messages, so anyway.
Yes, I don't. I'm there, though. So hit me up on there if you like.
Yeah, why not? But we will perhaps convince Daniel to allow us to create a social handle there as well for the show. Anyway.
Probably not. All right, let's get started. First up here is Microsoft Copilot Studio. Ooh, that's exciting. Review agent activity announcement. This is MC1078680. Short message here, of course, because it's a Power Platform message. They're always short. Hint, hint, guys and gals. How about we, give a little bit more detail, give some helper links. A little more content would be great. Help our users prepare. This one is, I think, exciting for those makers, for those people creating those agents. We are going to be able to see the interaction that users are having with our agent, so we can tweak things, so we can make it better, so we can correct issues if need be. But if you turn on if you have the ability and you've got that feature turned on, then you're going to be able to, the sharing is enabled. You'll be able to see that on the tab, the activity tab of your agent, which is exciting. You're a maker, you create something, you want to see how people are using it so that you can make it better, so you can, fix things or add additional functionality. Hey, if most of the people that are interacting with your agents are doing, one thing, then maybe make that one thing even better, right? I'm excited about this. Power Platform people. Whew. Okay, more information, please. This will reach general availability on April 30th, 2025. Notice that this was published on May 20th. So if my calculations are correct, this was published more than 20 days after it went GA. So maybe give us a little bit more. Maybe give us about to say more advanced notice, but this wasn't advanced. So give us maybe advanced notice. Let's start there, and then maybe more would be great. So I'm excited about this, Daryl. It's again for makers to be able to see those that are creating those agents, to see how they're being used and to help prepare for it. I'm excited about that.
Good.
But I'm also excited about this next message, because I want Copilot everywhere. I want it in my meetings. I want it in my agents. I want it in my calls. Daryl, how can we enable that? Sir?
Well, good news, Daniel. We don't have to enable it. It's everywhere anyway. You might have noticed the little colorful logo. But this one, allow recording and transcription by default in Teams calling global policy. That's MC 1084030. Now, I'm not going to get into the technical detail too much about this, but just to say that it's going to allow us to turn on transcription for Teams calls, not just meetings, but let's just turn that on for our calls and be able to capture what we're talking about and discussing. Now, what's a call? A call being that Daniel and I, we both use Teams. I will see that he's online and I'll call him. And then what I should do is say, hey, Daniel, can I turn on transcription? Because I'm sure we're going to talk about really important things and I can't be bothered taking notes. I want Copilot to do that, and I'll ask some questions later about what I should remember. And this policy will allow you to turn that on by default. We did wonder about whether this also expands to telephony calls. It doesn't really indicate that. It just says calls. But we were wondering, what that could look like if it was someone who they were receiving an audio call. They might need an audio prompt to say that transcription has been turned on. But I think it is all about livening up more scenarios for where Copilot can leverage your conversations, answer questions about that content, and help you really just keep on top of work. I think that's where it's at. What do you think, Daniel?
No, I agree with you. And, think about we can use AI to give kind of a in-meeting recap of like, oh, what was said about this, to refresh. Well, just bringing that into your calls that you're having with one or multiple people, where you could say, Daryl's mentioned something about, this product, what did he say? And it give you a little bit of information about what was said 10 minutes ago, so you can bring it back up. So I think it's good. I'm excited about this, and you can ring my bell anytime. Give me a call. I was going to start singing that song, but
no,
I decided
ring
not
it,
to.
ring it, because he's just a telephone call away. You can pick it up and call him any day. Starting July 2025, and Daniel will be able to turn on transcription. That was the Will Smith version. Sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah.
Not the Tony Collette. I think it was Tony Collette. Anyway, cool. 2025. New tenants and tenants without the customized Teams calling policies. The new default will be applied automatically, and tenants with the customized global policy or custom Teams calling policies, any policy customization will remain in place and will not be affected. So if you've chosen not to use it, then don't worry, this is not going to override it, but you have the choice to turn it on. And let's shift gears into OneDrive. There's a good scenario here where we want to get some files from people, but we want to change it up about what they can do after they've submitted those files, Daniel. So tell us about it.
Okay. Microsoft OneDrive. New view and upload, in quotes, permission for anyone links to folders. MC1078765. So as it is now, if you want to use a request files feature, right? So we're able to say, hey, we want to request files from people and have them drop them into a folder. Then really, there's not a great way to do that without extending more permissions. And what this is doing is basically allowing those anyone links, that are created in your organization to have to be allowed and given that permission of view and upload, which will enable not just view but also to request files from people to put in those folders. And I think you can see that this will be helpful in your compliance and everything, because you're not giving more permissions that are needed to get this request files feature working. And it's very comparable, I think, to what we used to do back in my day with SharePoint on-prem, where, we'd create a custom permissions level that was view and add. So people could upload a file but couldn't edit, couldn't make changes, those kind of things. So this is, kind of that same kind of use case, right? Of you're wanting people to be able to view, you want people to be able to add content and upload if you turn on request file. So anyway, so that's what's happening here. Just wanted a quick update here to let you know that that's happening. You can see, how this is going to play. There's learning more. There's actually links. Hey, Power Platform people, check this out. It's a message that has screenshots. It has a lot more detail, and it has learn more links at the bottom. Saying maybe that would be a great thing to do in your little tiny messages. So anyway, you can set this by PowerShell, or you can go to the SharePoint Admin Center and go to the policies and sharing and change this. Targeted release rolling out early June 2025. So like soon, very soon. Expect to be completed by late June. And then general availability will be worldwide, GCC, GCC High, and DoD late June, and completed by early August 2025. So that'll be great. Get your sharing on. Speaking of sharing.
Yeah. I'm interested. How are you going to introduce this, Lynn?
Well, oftentimes when I'm talking with you and when I'm seeing what you're writing or hearing what you're saying, I have different emotions. And, I don't like to be limited by one emotional reaction. Tell me, Daryl, how is Microsoft helping me expand my emotions and being able to react differently to what you say and what you type?
Well, yes, it's very good news for you, Daniel. So much so that they're extending this to all kinds of tenants that might appreciate this. Microsoft Teams users can add multiple emoji reactions to each chat or channel message. MC1084032. If this was a live stream, I'd be asking for everyone to be reacting in multiple ways.
Come on, chat. What? Put a W in chat. Put a W in chat.
A W in chat. Today, we can react once. We can change our reaction. I sometimes do, because maybe I thought, well, thumbs up is not enough right now. I want to give like a high 10. I want to add some other things as well. Well, you'll be excited to know that you could actually choose both or more. In fact, up to 20, maximum 20 different reactions. We have some beautiful screenshots in this. Sasha has reacted 6 times to a message, and he's ranged from a dog to a party to a rocket to clapping hands to thank you very much and a heart. That they're all kind of the very, conveying the sentiment of how Sasha feels about this. and you can look, if you look into these reactions, you can see who reacted and how many times and where and what they reacted with, and if you so choose, react up to 20 times. I would like to see the confusion on people's faces when I don't know how I'm going to react to this one, Daniel. It's party on, right? So I've assigned a reaction to each key on the keyboard here, and I'm just going to, just react 20 times by leaning on the keyboard. And how you feel about this, Daryl? I don't know. A range of love to dogs to vampire teeth. You know that one, right? And the emo, yeah? It's just a range. What do you think about this? How would you react, Daniel? And let me not limit you to just one reaction.
Yes, don't limit me. I think this is ridiculous. I just do. It's personal. That's my personal reaction. I think it's ridiculous, but whatever. Some things to note here. One definitely is custom reactions. If your organization uses those, they're included in this. So, you can start using 20 custom reactions to every post. I think it's going to be abused, to be honest. I think what's going to be interesting is seeing how people are trying to use emojis to say something. Like creating a sentence or whatever using emojis and their multiple reactions.
It's one thing to have the emojis in a sentence to say something because you can put the order there, but reactions, is it going to spoil it if I do it in the wrong order? And
probably. I actually get a couple. I really do. I get a couple, maybe a celebration and a laugh, right, or something. I don't know, but really, do we need 20? Do we? Really?
I don't know.
I don't.
Hey, and what does it look like when you want to go back and change those reactions? Because we got that little screenshot there with Sasha, and clearly this is Sasha's view of things. He could go through and click the cross and say, "No, I've changed my mind. I want to instead of having the thanks, I want to, do the finger point."
With the middle finger?
But how would you do that? Would you have to go through and figure out, or do you click on the plus whatever and then you see your name multiple times? This is just funny. Like you said, it wouldn't go so far as to say ridiculous, but I do want to see what happens when people react in multiple range of reactions.
Like I said, a couple, maybe 3, but 20? Come on.
Yeah. So here's another reaction as I read out when this will happen. Targeted release, rolling out early June, so it'll be with you very shortly. Your general availability, that's to GCC and worldwide, mid-June to late June. GCC and GCC High, early July to mid-July. General availability to DoD, begin rolling out early August and complete by mid-August. So they're really kind of spanning a range of, we're going to release this to the different places. But I just try to imagine someone in the Department of Defense just, spending a significant amount of time carefully choosing their reactions to a team's message. I don't know. Right. Well, we've done enough of that. I thought we would pop that one in there as a bit of a laugh. That was my reaction, as well as cry, as well as anyway. Daniel, here's a return of a very useful feature that I thought, again, it was a pity it was missing in Teams for some time. Tell us about it.
Yes, we're going from a kind of a silly, some would say ridiculous Teams feature to a very, very helpful Teams feature. Updated, Microsoft Teams automatically set work location by connecting to a Wi-Fi network, MC108.1568. This is, like Daryl was saying, a feature, useful feature that, I think is going to be very helpful in using functionality that Teams already has about setting your location and helping people find where you are, and you finding other people that are in the same location. So what this is you can have set up a mapping for, I connect to this network. That means I am here, wherever here is, right? Now, that could be a Wi-Fi. That could be a network. Now, if your company uses the same network name in all your buildings and all your cities and all, then that's not very helpful. But what you can do is also, as part of that mapping, it could be peripherals such as monitors. So when you come in and you connect to that LG, curved, ginormous monitor that you have at work, then you're connected to the Wi-Fi, then, Teams will go, you're at work, you're in this building, here is your, and set that as your location. I think this is very useful because, frankly, I would guess the percentage of users who switch locations in Teams, switch locations, period, don't do it in Teams. They just forget. It's one of those things that, there's people, Daryl, right now that are watching and listening to this saying, I do, Daniel. Come on. Okay, fine. There's some of you that do, but I think the vast majority don't. And it means it makes it even that much less, it makes it less useful for the people that do. So if only 10% in the organization set their location in Teams and no one else does, well, that doesn't help them find other people that are in that location. That's what I mean, right? Do you agree, Daryl? Like this can help more and more people using this feature, so they can use location-based features in Teams to do cool stuff in the future. Is my thought.
Yeah, look, it's extending on the I'm either at home or at work. I'm letting you know where at work, and that helps me make a decision around, hey, let's meet together. Let's find a meeting room and do that. And because that's the value of being at work together at the same time.
Yeah.
And if we're not updating the information manually, then this automated way of doing it will definitely help us make those sorts of connection decisions. Love it.
Yeah, I do too. So this is rolling out worldwide early July 2025, completed by mid-July. Daryl, let's turn the page.
Okay.
And talk about, Pages.
Very nice. Copilot Pages. Microsoft Copilot Pages. I want to say Microsoft 365 Copilot Pages, but, marketing, that's up to you.
Read it the way it's written, Daryl.
Read it the way it's... Okay, : new file extension for Copilot Pages. MC1085134. Microsoft 365 Copilot Pages, also known as Microsoft Copilot Pages, same thing, is a feature when you are chatting with Copilot and it comes out with a really good response and you think, I want to take that and use it somewhere. I don't want to just copy and paste it. I'm going to push it over to Copilot Pages. Open on the side there. Great. I'm starting to edit it and change a few things. I invite maybe a couple of people from my team because I think this is just some good stuff. And that Copilot page is a file that is saved into the Microsoft Loop ecosystem. Now, loops live in SharePoint embedded. Still powered by SharePoint, but in that nice little tidy space. In fact, recently you get your own workspace and it sits now in the SharePoint embedded area. So that's where Pages live. What's interesting here is that up until now, they've been recognized as .loop pages, powered by Loop. But this message is now announcing that it's going to be a .page. Now, that probably will help I don't know, with filtering on certain things, that it clearly you can see it is a page. It's more than just a loop page, but it is related to Copilot. It certainly gives it its own identity, Daniel. But apart from that, it's just really interesting to see that it's a technology that's driving it is called Loop, and it appears in your Loop app. And yes, you can see your pages in the Copilot app experience, but why is it now its own thing? .page. What are your thoughts?
I don't know. I have no inside information, so I'll put that out there. No NDA information at all. When I see changes like this, what it brings to mind is, well, maybe there's something come along where they'll have new functionality of something that will need to use a different extension, like now page. So maybe it'll be something different, or maybe they want to help differentiate between .loop and .page. I don't know. I really don't understand. It does mention, hey, this is still going to show up in Purview, eDiscovery, and all that kind of functionality. Still works, everything great. So right now, all we know is. All it is a change of the extension. That's all we know. Mm-hmm. So why change it? Is it just for change's sake, or is it because of new functionality? That's going to be my guess, but yeah. I don't know.
I would hope it's new functionality and that this is just the first step. But right now it is a new Pages logo, a new .page extension, and I guess a clearer delineation of here's Loop stuff and here's Pages. They're still the same technology, but we're going to treat it differently eventually, maybe. Yep. So when will this happen? General availability worldwide in GCC, begin rolling out late June and complete by late July. Maybe by then we'll know what the purpose of this is for.
Maybe.
But that is the turning of that page and onto the see you later part of the show. Yeah.
I'm getting
you're
all
reacting
the emojis
multiple times.
Yes.
I like that. Yeah.
I'm reacting. For those on the audio,
my emoji reaction.
Right. I was giving lots of reaction. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Give us a thumbs up on the video, please. Give us a share. Give us a 5-star rating on the audio podcast platform you're at. Help us share the information out. Again, it's not just for us, it's for you, it's for everybody to interact. So throw a comment down in comments on, a particular message. Did you find the ridiculousness of the 20 reaction the emojis? Is that, or maybe you have a use case and you're like, Daniel's wrong on this. Great. As I said at the top of the show, I'm wrong most of the time. So tell me how I'm wrong. Would love to hear that. But thank you so much for interacting with each other and with us. We very much greatly appreciate it.
Absolutely. And until next week, smile emoji, happy emoji, shocked emoji, cover your mouth emoji. See you next week.
Bye.